Introduction. This course will teach you how to install SharePoint. Theory is nothing without hands-on practice. If you're a developer, started to learning SharePoint or increase your skills in SharePoint, or if you're someone who needs to evaluate SharePoint, you need an environment to play with SharePoint. Most of the SharePoint starters struggle with this question: where do they find this environment? I know I did, so I'm helping you in this course to create your own personal environment for SharePoint. And no, we will not install SharePoint on your personal Windows because it's going to slow your system down. It's not recommended. SharePoint is an enterprise software. It's not supposed to be installed on your personal environment. Help you save monthly costs. So we'll talk about some of the solutions that you can have for as your personal environment. But in this particular course, we'll talk about a free method to do that. There are some ways out there by some providers that you can actually create hosted SharePoint instances, but they have costs associated with it. And the best thing about this is what you learn here, you can apply in future versions of SharePoint. SharePoint 2015 is coming next year, mid next year. You can use the way how I teach you to create a personal environment and create a 2015 environment and so on and so forth. Or you can install some other product for evaluations like Exchange or Link and so on and so forth. So this is a really handy and a recommended way to create your personal environment. And if you have any questions, you can always forward them my way. About me, I'm a SharePoint consultant and architect for a little over 8 years, and I have architectured SharePoint solutions, deployed and developed a lot of custom SharePoint solutions in retail, banking, pharmaceuticals industries. My hobbies include tennis, musical keyboards, playing with my toddler, and photography, which I just recently picked up. So what does this course cover? You would be creating a virtual machine on a personal computer or a laptop. A virtual machine is an operating system or an application environment which imitates dedicated hardware. So in essence, a virtual machine is a computer within a computer. You would be obtaining the trial software. It's not just SharePoint that you need to create a personal environment. You need other things as well, Windows, SQL Server, and so on and so forth. So I will let you know how you can get all those trial software and what are the requirements to do the installation for SharePoint. We'll do the step-by-step installation in demonstration videos for each of the required software. The end product of this course is going to be SharePoint 2013 server installed. As a bonus, I'll also show you a hosted SharePoint solution. Don't worry about it if you don't know what a hosted SharePoint solution is. It's basically SharePoint installed in the cloud, but we'll go through it in more detail. And I'll do a walkthrough of that so that you, if at the end of this course you decide to go with that route, you can also pick up that and you have a sort of a trial demonstration on it. What does this course not cover? Well, obtaining licenses for each of the required software. So remember, this is going to work for trial software products and it's going to last for 180 days, 6 months. I'm not going to teach you how to obtain licenses for each of those products. That's a whole different world on its own. I would not teach you how to use SharePoint. This particular course is just designed to let you create a personal environment. So I'm not teaching you SharePoint. SharePoint installation with advanced features is also not covered in this course. It would be a basic install with pretty much all the services out there, but it would not include installation elements such as business intelligence, analysis services integration, reporting services integration with SharePoint. Those are advanced topics. Also know that this is a personal environment. You can kind of take some things from it to create a professional SharePoint environment, but this is not the way how professional SharePoint installation is done. So don't think of it as something that you can use this course to create a personal enterprise forms in a professional environment just by watching this course. So now that you would want to like pay for this course, a question would be, why do you want to pay for this course, right? Can I just download a SharePoint virtual machine? And actually, there are a lot of virtual machines that are out there created by people that have actually put in a lot of work creating those. So I can just download and run them, correct? Well, the answer is no, and I don't think so. Uh, because of the reason that these VMs are really big, again, a computer within a computer, you're talking about downloading like 40 gigs of files, and mostly they're like divided in different parts. And while you're downloading them, the downloads get corrupted. I mean, I know the internet speeds have really gone better in the last couple of years, but still these big files can get corrupted. Trials are expired. So somebody who created these virtual machines by themselves pretty much used the trial products. They would not be using their own licenses and distributing it out to everybody that's out there. So if you download these VMs on the internet, when you run them, you find out that the trial period has expired for most of the products on it. Insane hardware requirements. You would find 180 gigabyte of hard drive disk space and 24 gigs of RAM. So these are like insane, hardware requirements. Not everybody has these. I would also give a disclaimer that when you talk about creating a virtual machine on your environment, you do need good enough hardware. So I'm not saying that when you create this virtual machine for SharePoint based on this course, that you can just run it on 2 gig of RAM. You would need some hardware for it, and I'll let you know what are the hardware requirements for it. So now I'll take you to the training outline on what we'll cover in the entirety of this course. Uh, Lesson 1 would be, what are your options to create your personal SharePoint environment? We'll talk about some of the pros and cons of these environments, and we'll let you decide what you need to pick and choose. But typically, we will be just using one of those options, which is creating a personal SharePoint virtual machine. Lesson 2 would be the walkthrough that I mentioned. It's going to be a walkthrough of SharePoint hosted in the cloud. This would kind of give you an experience of what's the experience of having a personal cloud environment of SharePoint that you can use. Lesson number 3 would be the meat of the course, creating the virtual machine. What are the requirements? How do I and where do I download the required software? And what is the installation process? And lesson 4 would be managing the virtual machine. So now you have it, it's up there running. There are some things that you need to do to manage a virtual machine so that it actually works for you in the long run. Course summary. Remember that after this course, you'll be able to create a SharePoint virtual machine for free, which is, I guess, a big thing. Uh, all the resources required would be provided to you in the resources section, so you can, all the URLs for the trial products that you need would be here. I'll take you step by step walkthrough of this process of doing the install. Uh, and you can use to create various VMs with different configuration. I guess that's one of the big things about this course. It's, again, as I mentioned, SharePoint 2015 is coming next year. There are other configurations that you require. So with this particular way, you can create various virtual machines, different farm configurations, and so on and so forth. So hope you'll enjoy this outline of the course, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Take care.